This program and its contents are designed for information and educational purposes only. This program does not render medical advice or professional services and is not intended to be a substitute for professional care. The information provided here should not be used for the purposes of diagnosing or treating a medical or psychiatric condition. If you have or suspect you may have a health problem, consult your healthcare provider.
Hi, welcome to Positive Momentum TV. I'm Diane SIlva, and today my guest is Chris Silva, my husband, our director, and all-around really nice guy. Anyway, we're getting ready to launch our aviation and travel series, and as we've talked before, I've experienced travel anxiety, and I've overcome much of it. I still haven't gotten over some of the flying, which is one of the things we're going to be talking about for the next couple weeks, and we've got some pilots we've talked to, we've flown, so we've got a lot of stuff coming up for the next couple weeks, and then Chris and I will be here also for the next couple weeks discussing different experiences we had, how to take care of each other, what to look for, what experiences you have, how did we overcome them, and how do we work through them. I think we have some really good conversations, and that's why we're here. We're trying to capture some of the conversations we do have that we go, oh, I wish we would have recorded that because it might help somebody. So with that, I'm going to take a breath, because as we're talking about this, I can feel some of the angst, and even if it isn't the angst, it's the residual, it's that emotional, oh my God, did I really do that kind of thing, when I used to say, by the time I realize I want to lock me in the closet, I can only imagine what other people have been going through, so, and that's kind of where I am right now, going, oh my God, this is, and so there's some shame involved in this. Yeah. So there's so many different things. So what I want you to first understand is accept that this is a natural, you don't have any control. It's just like cancer. It's not something you asked for. It's not something you can just wish away. You can't just put on your big girl britches and just get pushed through it, because all it's going to do is make it worse. People call you a flake, they don't get it. You don't need them. Either we can educate them, which that's one of the things Chris and I are doing, is we're educating people, and then help them understand, because everybody's got a fear of something. It may not be to the point where it really controls your life and makes your life a problem, or it becomes a problem in your life, but everybody's got a fear. So treat it like that 2-year-old that's going, Mom, there's a monster under the bed, there's a monster under the bed, and that you may not see the monster, but that monster's real to them. Help, give them tools, give them a flashlight, honor their feelings, say, okay, let's figure out a way to get rid of that monster.
Yeah. So, and one of the things that you just said about that everybody has fears or anxiety and that kind of thing, everybody does, to different levels, to different things. And one of the things that we have talked about recently is the fact that how you react to when I am anxious.
Oh, yeah.
Or there's I handle it differently. My coping mechanism is to withdraw and be quiet and not really say much. And so I kind of internalize and just get through the moment. You're a little more on the outgoing side, that you verbalize things and you go through that. Neither one is right or wrong. Right. It's just tools or coping mechanisms that we have learned throughout our life to be able to get through the moment. So how we deal with the other person and that has an anxious moment, I think everybody can learn from the fact that when a person is dealing with things, I don't remember the stat on the thing, but and I think it was Joe, one of our pilots, that had mentioned about what high of a percentage there is when on a plane of people who are anxious. Yeah. To different degrees. Some just maybe get a little nervous. Some people get sweaty palms. Some people, can't get on the plane. So a lot. Yeah, but you've also gotten on the plane too.
Yes, I have.
So, but to varying degrees, people are on the plane and realizing that most of us are in the same boat, just at different
Or
levels.
same plane for this matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So getting back to, the way you deal with anxiety and the way I deal with anxiety being different, also there's that component that just because I don't always understand your anxiety any more than you understand mine.
Right.
And what I have found embarrassingly, and trust me, this is not easy to admit, that I'm one of those people sometimes that say, what's the problem? Just do it. And I catch myself and I'm going, oh my God, and I, above all people, know anxiety. But I don't always understand someone else's. So sometimes we have to step back in our own shoes and say, okay, wait a minute. They're helping us, they understand us, or what if this was their anxiety? Just finding ways to be compassionate, to be understanding, to be empathetic, and not push. Because even though we're there, we're like, oh, just buck up. Whoa, what the? I'm just as guilty as the next guy.
Yeah.
Even more so in some cases. Our patience is thin, but okay, so you don't want to hammer the nail. Why? What's wrong? But that hammer's that monster to you. It may not be real to me, but it's just as real as that monster to that 2-year-old.
Yeah.
So, so then I have to change places and be on the support side. And it's daunting and it's different and it's scary. It's almost as scary as being in the anxiety attack because you're helpless. You don't know what to do. So if you could speak on that just a little bit. You had a lot more experience on that side of this.
Yeah, I would say I'm more of a supporting person in the aspect of having the patience to step back and kind of look at the big picture, and that's the way I cope with it. That's the way I deal with other people going through things. That's the way I deal with things for myself. Is that the first thing I try and do is to step back and look at the big picture and not, for lack of a better word, not get tunnel vision. Because to me, when you're focused so much on a particular moment, and I think that's kind of what anxiety is where you're focused on just one thing so much that you don't see all the rest. For example, with the fear of flying, flying is one of the safest modes of transportation there is. Their record is impeccable, where people are more apt to get in a car and go driving down the road and see people on a cell phone, see people texting, see people not, ignoring things, getting into the other lane, and they accept those things. Yet in a plane that is safe, that has, they go through so many regulations and they've got, different rules for different situations. One thing that we found out recently is that planes that go over water kind of have a different set of, I don't know if you want to call it regulations.
More extensive regulations.
Yeah, or different protocol that they go through to ensure the safety of the passengers, when they go over water, like going to Hawaii or across the ocean to Europe or, wherever, as opposed to being just across the country. Because across the country, there's landing places. In the ocean, it's limited. So they want you to get to point A to point B, all the time. There's no, not some of the time, not 99% of the time, because the amount of flights that there are, if you calculated out the amount of flights that they do, if they did it 99% of the time, there'd be so many thousands of accidents.
Yeah.
Their safety rate is 99.999. I don't know how far it goes out, but it's impeccable.
Well, like Benji said, Benji was one of our pilots that was on recently too. Is it's just that they make a media circus out of this, and I'm not trying to pick on the media because we are a multimedia enterprise.
And we're doing media right now.
Right, but the point is it's news. It's something that they can chomp on and grab onto, and we can chew on for a while. And we are drawn to drama. That's why there's drama on TV. True reality TVs and all this other stuff. And by nature, that's what we do.
And one other thing that they do, which is unfortunate, is they speculate.
Oh, God,
when something
yes.
happens, you know, every station and, you know,
Reporter.
the reporter is saying, okay, well, I think this is what caused this. I think this is what caused this. They don't know. And that's the bad part about the media putting their input into what caused it.
Right.
Because if they just laid out the facts and just stated, okay, you know, we'll give you information as it becomes available, you know, there's going to be a big, long investigation that's going to go on, and they will get to the root cause of what happened.
Right, which is the NTSB, or with the recent Germany one, there's another equivalent.
Yeah.
And there's two, just so you know, there's two organizations in the U.S. that I subscribe to that help us out a lot, and that's SOAR, S-O-A-R, and that's fearofflying.com, and Fearless Flying, which they call them the plane whisperer. Both of these gentlemen are retired airline pilots, and they have turned into therapists. They work, you know, very well with people, trying to help them get over their fear of flying. And with them, I subscribe to their information. And, you know, both of them will say, don't listen to the media, you know, wait, don't speculate. You know, wait till the NTSB comes out with their report, you know, and they will help us understand.
Right.
So, you know.
But people are impatient, and people want to know now, even though it may not be the truth.
No, you know, any more than the witch hunts or anything else back in the day, you know, that everybody's starting, oh my God, we're fear-mongering is what we're doing. So we're not looking at the facts. And, you know, just like the issue with that German pilot where, you know, they said that the pilot was locked out of the cockpit.
We don't know the details.
We don't know the details, we don't know the specifics. We just know from U.S. regulations in the United States that will not happen, because if you have to have two pilots in that cockpit at all times. The pilot has to go to the bathroom, too bad. He doesn't go, you know, if there's only two people in that cockpit. And that we've got from, you know, pilots, you know, who know the regulations. So, you know, there's different things. So really, if you're going to watch the news and listen to the stuff, check out the facts. Don't just go by what they're saying.
Yep.
So, okay, with that, as we're getting close to wrapping up this segment, what what advice could you give somebody who's in your situation, who's a supporting partner, or someone who just supports someone who has anxiety, angst, fear, and when I'm saying that, I mean it's a problem in their life, you know?
Well, one of the things I think would be very helpful is there are things where there are, you know, like support groups.
Okay.
It probably, to provide a support group for someone that is the supporter, you know, just as much as they have them for caregivers, you know, for a variety of different things. Being able to share your information with another person, information is really critical and really, I think, very important to understanding what other people are going through, because what I'm going through with you is different than what another person's going to go with another, you know, another person who's anxious, you know, the supporter for the person.
Okay,
So.
well, you know, and we have a fear of flying support group, and we can branch that off into the support of the supporters, you know, and educate and be able to help them out. So if you go to our website, you know, positivemomentum.net, you can find out information on the support groups. You can find out information, if nothing else, we can also see if we can't get a link to SOAR and Fearless Flying. I will check with them and see if we can. And with that, we're going to continue this conversation at another time. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you allowing us to publicly delve into our personal life.
Part of it.
Partly. Thank you very much for watching. Look forward to seeing you on the next segment.